Hello Tibians, Episode 6, welcome. 31,000 points and 8 areas to finish in under 2 hours. That was the plan. To succeed, I even bought the Eagle mount from the tournament store. Should have had that one on the day before in Rush. Wasn't desperate then, now I was. During my thought rampage from last night, I figured I should buy a teleport scroll for finishing remote areas like the Horned Fox lair. It could save 2 precious minutes, and it might just be what was needed to win. So after logging in, that's what I did. Give me one of those scrolls. Wait, what? Ah, right. Purchase from the store, the teleport works instant. Shows how often I purchase this thing. Whatever. If you look at the minimap, north part of Dara Desert was pretty much finished. Pariana had bought me 2 more casks, so it was time to restock for the exploration spree. Speaking of last night's thought rampage, I seem to be very much awake. 1000 vials for strong mana seems slightly ambitious. Then I end up not refilling them at all, and am unable to cope with a backpack full of trash. Man, this efficiency. Sleepwalking through Dara for 60 seconds to finish the area, without cleaning up the backpack. Then going for Drevia. Having watched both Bubba's and the Texo stream taught me that it is best to start Drevia exploration in the south area. So that's what I did. It proved highly efficient with 4 points appearing there. Finding the remaining 3 in the northern part was a piece of cake. 3 minutes for Drevia. Good stuff. Only Lion's Rock left. Pariana had of course provided me with the Cobra tongue. And finally I woke up and started to toss some trash out of my backpack. Exploration of Lion's Rock was unlucky. When walking here, there was 1 square meter that I didn't see in the northwest corner. Mapping nearly every part of the grid, I was starting to get desperate. Where is that last point? Shit. Running back, finally stumbled upon it. With 3 hours and 38 minutes left, I took the carpet to Edron. 15 minutes with Darashia done. On time. Next up was delivering the feathers to a swan. Halfway there, sadness. Thanks to the instant teleport earlier, I had forgotten to pick up the last feather near the cactus. Turned around with a curse and went to pick up the feather. 90 seconds were wasted in this process. I delivered the feathers and then proceeded to map Grimvale. Only 5 points until the last floor, so seems like a lap in the basement was needed. Never mind, 2 points near the ladder. Edwin Stoneham afterwards took a staggering 50 seconds. 3 hours 28 minutes left when starting Fillmore Hills. 5 minutes faster than expected. Things were looking good. I even had wasted a total of at least 4 minutes with random mistakes like the feather and not finding the exit in Lion's Rock after being done. Fillmore Hills though. Not a pleasant area. Too much area. And difficult to run in a way where you don't repeat the surface that you have previously covered. 8 minutes total here was half of the remaining budget for Khazad-dûm. Next up was the Khazad-dûm Troll Den. It is on the other side of the mountain, so I abused the wagons to jump over it. Same thing to reach the Horned Fox lair. In the Horned Fox lair I had a really efficient start. 4 points right away. Which meant put on a stealth ring, because if you remember, the idea was to use the teleport scroll to save time. 2 minutes later all points were found, and another temple teleport purchased, this time used as intended. Khazad-dûm went about 1 minute over budget, but overall I was still ahead in time. Now to finish up Dendriel with Draconia. I bought a prison key just so that no one would be evil and lock me in between doors, which was a waste of time, because both doors were open, and there is a teleport in between to exit anyway. Utani Temposan through Hellgate, and then Draconia exploration starts already underground in the Rockroom caves. Sadly, not too many points were there. Only 3 points after making a lap and exploring the other dragon caves, so I had to make a full lap over the pyramid as well. 6 of 7. Only location left was the Tower of the Old Dragon Lord. And there it was, 7 of 7. Turned straight around to get the hell out of here. I had brought plenty of white mushrooms, so I put one on the bazaar. This wasn't how it worked? Right, you had to say white mushroom to the Old Dragon Lord. So I go back to him to do that. And then try again. Teleport doesn't work. Crap! What do I do? First reaction is to just run out the hard way. But looking at the map, maybe that would cost another 2 minutes. So it was time for my stealth ring and the third teleport scroll of the day. Man, was I blind. How could I not see the item that had appeared in my backpack? 1 minute random waiting time. And then from Dara I had to go straight back to Upton Rail to finalize the Fairest access. All in all, instead of 6 minutes for up and delivering Fairest, which it could have been, just over 13 minutes were spent. Derp. Draconia exploration being unlucky? Fine. But 3 of those minutes were totally on me for not remembering how to properly exit Draconia. My excuse? It was 12 years since I last ventured there. Anyhow, 4 areas done, 4 more to go. First up was Fairest. Whenever I had explored Fairest on my mains, I always was left with a bunch of points in the East Mountain area. So that's where I went first. Just to find nothing at all. Statistically, that probably makes sense. Compared to my practice runs and previous explorations, areas where I was unlucky before tended to become lucky. And vice versa. The points are random after all. As with Trevia, when practicing that it was finished before I even had hit the surface. In the tournament I had to cover pretty much the entire area. Fairest was done in just over 8 minutes. A 2-minute gain on the budget again. That was good. Next up, Choir Fang. From entering Grey Island to leaving it, just about 7 minutes were spent. Another 3 minutes below estimate. The last easy area, Kralos. The key part here is the stepper. It is a large area and depending on luck, covering that can take quite some time. Of course, this area now was slightly unlucky, because when practicing, all 7 points were found after covering about 1/3 of the map. This time I had to cover like 90% of it. It took almost 9 minutes from the 15-minute budget. The mountains in the south went with average time. The Nightmare Caves again though. Didn't realize that I was done after this triplet and wasted an extra 40 seconds looking for ghosts. In the end, 17 minutes were spent for Kralos. I was rank 6 with 45,215 points and had about 2 hours and 25 minutes left to explore Isavi and pull out another 4,000 points somehow. Altogether, without a bunch of mistakes, I maybe would have had 10 more minutes to spare. But I still was happy. The end goal here was to have more than 2 hours left after Isavi, and Dagger had managed Isavi in about 19 minutes, so surely I would reach my target. Assuming an average of 300 million XP per hour, I would reach level 440 with 2 hours of playtime, and another 10 skill points were included in that. So alone by brute force hunting, I would get about the same amount of points as Etexto had at this point. Optimally, I even would luck the Carlin Ice Islands, and then for sure I should be winning. Find out how it went in the next episode.